Greetings and salutations, friends. It's time for Expand Upon Later. The rules for these are simple. There are no rules. JK. First rule. If you see a game here, it means it passed the 30-minute Impress Me test from a best of 3. Second rule. I play for as long as I wish, but no more than halfway through. Tim, if you've never played the game before, how would you know if you're halfway done or not? By tapping into my ancient powers of foresight. Fair enough. But how's it going to work for games that don't have stories? Spoiler alert, he's mostly going to do games that have stories and campaigns. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Now, shut the hell up. Then I score it based on 5 parameters. Story, music, characters, gameplay, and fun. Then I score them again with a keep going, a done, or a disappoint. Now then, let's get started. Disclaimer alert. I am no stranger to this game. In fact, I love it. However, fortunately for you, I happen to be the most unbiased being in the entire cosmos. So, unbiased powers. Activate. Story. This game just assumes you got the bad ending in the first one because it's hard. Gameplay. It's hard. This game is a tactical turn-based shooter where you shoot at bad guys, take cover, manage resources, and hopefully save the world with a little bit of a sneaky snake element. Pro tip. Although this game has a decent tutorial that, if you've played it as much as I have, you don't really need to play. You can just skip it and get right into the action. However, if you have never played it before, not only should you play the tutorial, you should put it on easy. Because this is the kind of game where easy is normal. And normal is hard. And hard is harder. And the hardest mode is dumb. This game can get pretty silly. A lot of times it's in the form of RNG. But in other times, it's just unforgivingness. Especially if you play Iron Man. Because there's no autosave. And when people die, they're dead. The soldiers you get usually start off vanilla, but eventually become one of 4 classes. Ranger, Grenadier, Sniper, and Engineer, each of which get a special ability. Example, the Ranger gets a melee attack with a sword. Yes, melee attacks are special in this game, only the Rangers can do them. And then obvious things like the Sniper's the only one that gets the sniper rifles. The Engineers get drones, that's their ability. The Grenadier gets a minigun. And the Ranger's the only one that can use a shotgun. Examples. On top of the base ability that they all get, they then can branch off into further abilities that let them become specialized in one thing. Example. The Ranger can either get real good at slashing or real good at staying quiet. You also get secondary items that people hold on to, like grenades and health packs and different kinds of grenades and other stuff. Example, anyone can hold a health pack, but an engineer that's specifically spec'd out to heal uses it way better. You can technically customize each individual soldier, but I choose to leave them as they are because to each their own. Eventually you get more resources and intel and supplies and science stuff from dissecting all those alien bastards. There are also 7. No, I can't be taking the normal amount. There are several big additions that you can also play with. For example, one that I don't have, the War of the Chosen. But for this game, play, experiment, test. I didn't check the Shin robot one, and I did check the alien leader one. I don't remember what it's called right now. Alien Hunters! This edition adds Neato boss aliens that are all kinds of stupid. And by stupid, I mean hard. And by neato, I mean scary. It adds a whole other level of tension to this already tension-filled experience. Example, everything could be going just fine. Your last guy jumps over the window to join his buddies all behind this couch. By the way, don't ever cluster up your guys like this. You're about to see why. When all of a sudden, looky who decides to join a party with some friends and crash my game. This is where I stopped playing, by the way. Go back to story, Tim. You got distracted with gameplay. Okie dokie. Story. It assumes you got the bad ending for the first game and you just lost. And an evil alien organization called the Advent has laid claim to the Earth for 20 plus years. I think it's 20 years. At first, everything's fine. Hunky-dory even. And then, as you might expect, everything goes wrong when they start messing with people's genes to make people not people anymore. Central, the main guy from the first game that always talks to you, and Jane Kelly, a lady that you get if you play the tutorial. That's why you should always play the tutorial, so you can get to Jane Kelly. Save Commander, who was you in the first game, who's been inside of an Advent science tube this entire time. I don't know how he's not putting... They take you back to Resistance HQ, which probably has a name that I don't remember right now. But it's a big flying fortress like in Avengers. And it flies around the Earth, and you gain intel and take over territory and get supplies and fight them gosh darn aliens. Now you can kind of do whatever you want, sort of. There's a bunch of side missions that are the main income source for your different forms of resources. Like people, intel, and money, and you get it. Example, it could be to blow up alien thing, hack alien thing, or save really important person, or kill really important person. Just an FYI, you don't have to kill them, you can just take them. Yes. But it's a lot easier to not do that. As I said, you can kind of go around and do whatever you want, but eventually main story stuff happens and you have to focus on that. In between the whatever stuff you want to do. Game trailer voice man, who is also in the first game, eventually tells you you gotta stop the Avatar project, and then the whole game gets put on a timer. It's not a really scary timer, but it's a timer. This is a thing that also plays into the difficulty of the game because it makes it a lot more hectic. Because now you gotta worry about RNG and supplies and intel and keeping your people not crazy or hurt on top of the timer. Yes. On top of all that, the Advent will be attacking your sleeper cells, which give you stuff and completing projects that you may not have stopped because you can't stop all of them. You have to pick and choose which ones. And the ones that succeed sometimes make the bar go up faster. Yep. And just so you know, whenever Advent attacks one of your little sleeper cells, you should probably stop everything you're doing and just go help them. And then, on top of all that, you find the crazy German science lady's lab. Crazy German science lady was your character in the first game. She was the head of your science division. Who'd have guessed it? She had a lab and she was working on aliens and she made scary aliens that are one of a kind. And now, once you see them the first time, they roam and just randomly show up. So yeah. As for aliens, you got all different kinds of aliens. You got soldier aliens, you got better soldier aliens with sticks, you got leader soldier aliens, you got beefy soldier aliens that shield people, you got gray generic aliens that turn people into zombies and are annoying. You got snake guys, technically snake ladies, because there's only one guy, he's the leader. My mic died.
No, it didn't. What the hell?
Who do snake things like coil your guys up and spit poison. Big scary green buff aliens that are called mutons that are better than the normal soldiers. They're like the super soldiers, if you will. You get infiltrator cloney guys that copy people and look just like normal people. And then they're not. They look really stupid when they're not. And robots. There are other aliens. But as I said at the beginning of this, I am the most unbiased being to have ever existed. And I didn't get that far. So, I'm not going to talk about them. Music! The music is fantastic. It's tense, fitting, and really good. It adds to the entire experience. 1 second, there's no music and everything's all hunky-dory and you're a sneaky snake. And then all of a sudden, you turn a corner and bam! And then the music tells you, hey guys, you're probably gonna die. Characters! Nothing too crazy. The main characters for the story they're okay. They serve their purpose. However, this game's characters really lie in the ones that you pick up along the way. Your soldiers. Leveling up your soldiers and watching them grow into beautiful butterflies is quite the experience. And it makes it that much worse when they unfortunately die because they're dead. Fun? Very. Asterisks? Not for everyone. Conclusion. It gets a half a point for the story because although interesting and it keeps things going forward, I didn't really care all that much because you got a bunch of other stuff going on. It gets a full point for the music because the music is good. It gets a full point for the characters because although the main characters are kinda meh, the characters that you play as more than make up for it. It's getting a full point for gameplay because although RNGs can... It's getting a full point for gameplay because although RNG can be a little silly sometimes, it's very good at what it's doing. It gets a half a point for fun. Benadryl. No. Finish. It gets a half a point for fun because it is fun, but it's not for everyone fun. That means in total, Xcom 2 for the PC is getting a 4 out of 5. And is getting a keep going. And for this instance, a keep going entails completing the story completely and giving it a full, fleshed out, in-depth serial review. Sometime in the future. Captain Crunch. Special thanks to Patreon supporter Cletus McFreely 5656. And as always, I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Bye.
Missed the target.